we got running back. We got 4 running back battles here. We'll start with the Colts. How about that? And let's see, how many of these are, a couple of them are rookies that are coming in trying to make a name for themselves, 3 of the 4. So we got Colts, we got Marlon Mack. Very productive year last year. Very productive running game. A lot to do with that offensive line. Perhaps you could have run for 800 yards behind that offensive line.
Doubt it.
Versus Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
So a percent chance that, and so I guess how would we say starter? Because they're probably both going to play, right?
Definitely.
But I guess we're saying starter is like the guy who takes snap number 1.
Yes, I know. That's a running back, and I think we'll get into a few of these camp battles where I'm going to tell you, like, yeah, this guy might start, but it doesn't really matter, right? And this is probably one of them.
That won't go viral on the internet, though.
No, I don't. How dare. The truth doesn't go viral.
Yeah.
But
Pete's saying who has more carries week 1. That's probably a better way to do it.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say, Marlon Mack, to me, will start the first snap of the first game.
Okay.
Marlon Mack will start it. Veteran, been there. They're not going to be worried about, if the defense does something crazy in the first play. Marlon Mack's seen it all. He'll know who to pick up the blitz or whatever it is, right? So I'll say Marlon Mack starts.
Okay.
I think Jonathan Taylor gets more carries, though. That's where I do. Jonathan Taylor's, there's too many elite traits there to keep him on the sidelines. Elite traits win games for teams. And Jonathan Taylor is a guy, who's, again, Marlon Mack good, and he can get you a lot of 8 and 10 and 12. But some of those 8 and 10 and 12 ones with Jonathan Taylor could be 82, 72, and 70. And that's where he is special. So, I think that it's a committee thing, but I think they'll have an additive incentive of here's a special group of plays for Jonathan Taylor that we think he can be home runs on and everything like that. And I think ultimately he will be the guy there.
And to your point that you made a lot during the draft is that you're looking at 4 years, 3 years, 4 years, maybe max for even these top
started
drafted.
Now. Don't save them for 3 years down the road.
Especially
or
with
like
a guy like Jonathan Taylor who has a high workload coming out of college anyway.
Exactly.
It's like, let's just start using him.
Yes.
Game number 1, week number 1.
Right.
When you were given that answer, at one point, some spit came out of your mouth.
Did it?
Went right to your computer. The 6 feet of separation is working.
It's working. Good. We'll see if I can see it on my screen. I didn't see it. I know. Say it, don't spray it.
But I was like, this is working. The distance helps. Broncos primary running back. We got Phillip Lindsay versus Melvin Gordon, who is having trouble with the altitude currently.
Yeah. Well, that's a real thing. Like, no joke.
You were there.
So, yeah, I can tell you 2 different instances where it had an effect on my life. One, I was there. I want to say it was for like Kyle Shanahan's wedding at one point, right? And the wife and I are at a hotel down the street, and we went out for like a run right on a Friday afternoon. I was like, I got to do something. I can't just get drunk and have fun all weekend. I got to do something. And I went out with my wife, and we ran like maybe a half a mile to some street, and we are going to run sprints. And we ran like 1 or 2 sprints, and she was like, she got like pale white. Really? She's like, I got to sit down, and it got her. And I don't know why it didn't bother me on that, but when I got to Denver on that football team, my first week of like running and training, because I had just moved to town maybe a few days before that, so I wasn't really acclimated either. Ooh, man. I mean, I don't know. Running that Denver altitude, a 200-yard sprint feels like a 400-yard sprint. Everything feels double.
Do you get tired quicker? Is it harder to recover? Like, what is it?
Yeah, it is. It's like you get done with a hard sprint or run, 8 or 10 of them, and you're just like, okay, I just need a minute. I'll catch my breath.
Yeah.
There it's like, wait, it's been 2 minutes, and I still feel like it's 10 seconds after I ran this day. Like, what's going on here? Yeah. So you do, and then you start to feel a little lightheaded and things like that, where you're like, whoa, okay. Now, getting back to the point, I'm sorry, but I just want to say.
But then you feel like Superman when you're at sea level, right?
When you do.
Yeah.
You really do. Yes. I mean, it's amazing. Like when we went to that year, we went to Washington and a few other places where I just remember going outside being like, I can run for days. Like this doesn't even bother me.
This air is so heavy.
This running back one.
Yep.
Melvin Gordon's going to get the majority there. One, he's going to start, I think, right? I think he'll get that first snap of the game. 2, I think he'll get a majority of the bell cow type runs, and Pat Shurmur's a bell cow type offensive play caller too, pulling guards, downhill, smash mouth football. It fits Melvin Gordon. But I still think this is going to be, 55-45 split. to where you're still going to have phases of the game where if it's 2nd and long, 3rd and long, it's going to be all Phillip Lindsay with some sprinkled bell cow runs in for him too. But, Melvin Gordon's still a really damn good football player. And the other thing too, we just can't, this is a real aspect. I mean, Melvin Gordon's making $7 million this year. They didn't get him to be, they didn't do that to they got Melvin Gordon to extend the career of Phillip Lindsay and what they got there in Denver in a lot of ways. So, yeah, he gives you a little power, but now Phillip Lindsay, we got him, and this is add another year or two to his career with us, whether, we sign him to that contract or he ends up being a free agent, down the road either way. But to me, I think it will be Melvin more than Phillip, but still plenty of Phillip.
That's an interesting way to look at it, too, is that you sign a player and it gives the other player competition, but it's also a sign of respect. Like, we want to take the workload off of you. We want to have you around for a lot longer.
Well, Melvin's it's coming. He's taking a lot of his brunt and his, all the hits and everything like that.
Yeah.
And it's on the downslope of his career. I don't
Phillip,
like saying
we got
that.
him not because we don't like you, but because we do like you.
We do like you.
Yeah, that's
and, we like you to be a part of you're a great weapon with a great skill set. But if we're going to give you the ball 27 times a game at 190 pounds, damn, your skill set will not be the same, and we're only going to have you for 3 years, and your career is going to be over. So that's why you do it.
Pete said it's crazy that Melvin Gordon's only 27 years old, and we're talking about him like an old has-been.
I know.
You get up there towards 30 for running back.
Yeah.
You're almost
He's going to be pissed off, though, this year. He'll be ready.
He'll be good.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
How about my Detroit Lions? They got a rookie in DeAndre Swift, who you were not that high on in the draft. You were down on him more than most, I feel like.
I know, yes,
which
that's
hurt
correct.
me once my Detroit Lions took him, versus Kerryon Johnson. So what do you think? Starts and then who gets more carries game one?
I'm still going to go Kerryon Johnson there. The beauty of the DeAndre Swift thing is, Matt Patricia's trying to build a team, or we've seen the last years, I formation, wants to run the ball, do those things, right? Mm-hmm. Where last year they lost Kerryon Johnson, and you're like, their run game's who's carrying the ball? I don't even know who this. Who are these guys? Are any of them worth a damn? Now, a la New England, in the important positions. Oh, you want to be a running team that play through your defense and control the clock? Well, you better have running backs, right?
Yeah.
And why let one injury ruin your whole team? So I think Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia realized, okay, why would we do that? Why would we have, if our one guy gets hurt, all of a sudden we have to change our offense and we can't even do what we want to do? Now you got Swift to come in and go, okay, damn, we got a guy that's, valued as a first rounder in a lot of ways. So, I think it's going to be Kerryon Johnson, but a lot like we just saw with Melvin Gordon and Phillip Lindsay, 55-45, maybe 52-48.
Sure.
It'll be very, very similar.
Pop quiz here from Pete.
Uh-oh.
He goes, after Kerryon, who was the second leading rusher, in carries, in terms of carries for the Lions last year? Who had the second most carries? Second in carries and yards. He was also second in yards.
Damn,
I really who it was?
No. I'm trying to think of names on their roster right now that were running backs there last year. That's what I'm trying to really figure out. All right, so last year they had Bo Scarborough. I'm missing another running back on their roster from last year. Oh, they had McKissick.
Pete has informed me that you nailed it. Bo Scarborough.
It is Bo Scarborough.
It is Bo Scarborough.
Holy cow.
As a self-proclaimed Detroit Lions fan, I had no idea.
You're
right.
I pulled up the roster from last year and I saw his name. But you're right. Yeah, I didn't know who else there was even there. Yeah, McKissick was there.
They just stopped the running.
Yep, no, I did cheat. I pulled up names from last year's roster because I couldn't even think of who the hell was there.
That's all right.
But,
I'll give you half
but that's the point. That's the point right there.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
This one, when Pete put it in, you go, oh, that's a good one. I'm glad Pete put this one in, so props to you, Pete. Rams primary running back.
Yeah.
You got Darrell Henderson, you got Malcolm Brown, you got Cam Akers, the Florida State draft pick, where a lot of people are very high on.
Yeah. All right, so I think here, I think Cam Akers will be the guy. I do. And again, this is going to be a committee thing, too. I mean, this is Sean McVay. Let's not forget.
Sure.
Kyle Shanahan, that influence. I think he just learned his lesson about putting all his eggs into I have one running back basket and the Todd Gurley thing, and you see how it can ruin your team. I mean, they give him all that money, and it's like, damn, we only got 1 year out of him, really, after they paid him that money. So I think that Akers, first off, I guess this is where I'm pulling some context clues, like Darrell Henderson last year. It was there for him to get some carries and have a significant role in the roster last year. I don't know what it was. I haven't got the down low there, but he wasn't a big part of their plans a whole lot. You know, Malcolm Brown, good player, certainly. But I think when all said and done, I think Cam Akers, listen, I like Cam Akers almost every bit as much as I like DeAndre Swift coming out in the draft. You know, it's not as shifty, but it's more straight line, explosion, power, home run hitting ability. And I would think in that offense, right, because, like, I'm going to stand up.
No, I don't think you can.
I can. But you're right.
Go for it. No, do it and just see what happens.
Why don't you back away for a second? So I don't get close to you.
I wasn't saying about the distancing.
Okay.
I'm just saying your head might be cut off here.
Oh, you're right. I am. Okay, I don't care. We can do it like this. I'm a running back.
Yeah.
Well, if I get in front of the desk, Pete, I'm going to be even more out of the way.
We get more crotch. We get more crotch.
Yeah.
We're just getting a lot of crotch. Oh, Kristen's saying go behind the couch.
I'm going behind it. I don't care. I'm doing it.
This is the first
starving.
time ever on the pod. If you're listening, I encourage you to tune into YouTube because you. Oh, his head is.
It doesn't matter. I'm the headless horseman.
Keep going back by the ping pong table. We will hear you.
I'm staying right here. I don't screw my head. I don't want to see it.
Okay.
Here's what a great. This is the beauty of the inside-outside zone system, and this is what Shanahan likes, and this is why you like. He's got Deebo Samuel, right? And this is why he's had James Breida, because it's the outside zone. So you get the ball and they're going, and as the defense starts to stretch out and hold their gaps, they want a guy that can do that. Oh, get wide. Oh, the gaps are getting big. They want a guy that can just put their foot in the ground and go zoom. And to me, that's where Cam Akers has a leg up on those other guys. There's a no-nonsense to his game, and it fits that scheme. So I would say he gets the brunt of it, but it's not going to be like, okay, let's say it's 40% him, 30% Darrell Henderson, and then 30% Malcolm Brown, something like that. Maybe it's too much. It should be 50, 30, 20. Maybe.
But you're right. I mean, he didn't really trust or run that much with Malcolm Brown last year.
How many carries did he get?
So 69 for Malcolm Brown, 255 yards. Darrell Henderson, only 39 carries for 147 yards.
Yeah, that to me tells me he wasn't in the trust tree yet. Like, we can't trust him. He doesn't know the offense. He doesn't know some of the rules. He doesn't know who he's supposed to pick up on blitz. Those are context clues I would take away from a stat line like that for a guy that's drafted in the first 3 rounds at running back.
Jared Goff threw the ball 626 times last year.
Too many.
He'll throw less. He'll throw fewer times this year.
Throw less.
That was the hope with Cam Akers,
right?
Let's not throw 600 times a year.
Definitely. Throw less. They've improved their offensive line a little bit. Still question mark a little bit. And then I would be shocked if we don't see a little bit of a different wrinkle to Sean McVay's offense. Way too much 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 running back sets. Way too much. It's all they're ever in is 11 personnel. Hey, at some point, McVay's just too creative. Why are you hamstringing yourself to just that package of plays or that package of personnel? Put a fullback in the game. You see all the things Shanahan and Sean Payton can do with those positions and everything like that. So I think we're going to see a different approach by them on offense this year altogether.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.